I'll get the God bit out of the way first. I said at the end of the video yesterday morning that I was going to go back to my place. I needed to go back to pick up some zip, literally just to pick up zip to come and make 50 cushion covers, or to begin making 50 cushion covers. And then as well, I needed to do something that I thought I could only do on my laptop, given that I don't remember the password, but I have the password saved on my laptop. So anyways, I decided to try and log in on my phone, and lo and behold, the password was saved on my phone as well. So I don't know if it's done centrally or what, via Google, I don't know. But anyway, thank you, God, for the magic of technology. And I know there will be people who say, oh, it's nothing to do with God, it's men who came up with the internet and all of that. But that's another thing to go into at some point. Anyway, so I managed to do that. I didn't need to go back to my place. So when I got back from the hospital last night around 9 o'clock, I got an email from one of my customers, and it was to do with some fabric that he's going to send me to make one blind. And so I've got the lining back at my place to do the blind. So while I intended going back today anyway, this morning. So while I'm there, I can also collect the lining, so I won't now have to do 2 trips. So anyway, the God bit is that sometimes, as I've said, your movements get ordered after a fashion. I've got to say, this time in the morning isn't the best time for me to be doing videos because my brain doesn't necessarily work. Just got up and it's 6:30 in the morning. But yeah, so anyway, further to what I said yesterday, where God lines things up for you. So now, instead of having picked up the zip yesterday and then having to go back and do another trip to pick up lining, I can do all of that in one go today. But I'm not finished yet. So these 50 cushion covers that I need to make, I thought when I spoke to the person I'm doing them for, I was of the opinion that they would be piped. A lot of them would need piping. Let me show you what piping is. Right, so it's this. And I will open. So you've got to put the piping on separately, like so, and then put the zip in, and that can be a pain in the behind with some of the fabrics, because some of the ones I've got are really thick. So lo and behold, and much to my wonder and surprise, none of these 50 cushions are piped. That is, so it's pretty much like making pillowcases with and just putting a zip in. Very simple. So what perhaps might take me 2 weeks will now take me a week or less. Depends on how I want to do this thing. So anyway, so that's the God bit. So, you know, everything's working out fantastic for me. Life being made simple. But that's not what I'm here for. I just want to, right, this, prior to getting up, I came across something on Good Morning Britain from 5 days ago. And it's this woman that I can't stand. I did a video about her before, and whose name I wasn't going to mention, but I will mention her. She's Dr. Shola somebody or another, and I will put that GMTV video in the link. Unfortunately, they've turned off comments, because I would have gone on there and hammered her and them, because to me she's GMTV's favorite, or as I say, pet black. And you know, I will come out and say things, and I'm quite happy to be banned. I don't actually care, because the truth is the truth. And if people are just going to be skirting around things just so that they don't get wrapped on the knuckles or whatever. So it's like with the COVID-19 thing, where people are running around in masks even though they don't feel comfortable. They don't believe in this scam. When I say scam, I mean pandemic. Whether or not there is a virus out there, I don't know, but there most certainly isn't a pandemic. And I mean, I've got various reasons for saying this, and I'll come back to that shortly, which is the reason why I'm here. So, so it's just the way people conform to things, and they've got idiots ordering them about, telling them what they can and can't do, and just the way they comply. I mean, if people want to do that, that's fine, but I'm not that kind of person. And so my purpose for being here will now begin, or rather I'll begin to relate what happened yesterday at the hospital. So I walk in, and there's always new patients coming in, people being discharged, new ones coming in. So in bed 1, which is facing my sister's bed, my sister is in bed 6, there's an elderly Asian woman who from listening, barely speaks English. But nevertheless, she's well and truly bought into the fear and panic. So I walk in. Obviously, I don't wear a mask. I refuse to wear a mask. And I walk into the hospital as I normally do and greet my sister, take a seat. And I'm facing forward. This dumbass, pardon my language, but sometimes in times like this, I wish I swore, because swearing would really illustrate the frame of mind that I was in yesterday. I chose not to do the video last night because I would have come across in a way that in a less calm way, we can say. Right, so I didn't do it then. But this morning when I saw the GMTV video, I thought I have to do it. So anyways, I'm doing it now. But yeah, so she's in the bed. I don't know this woman from anywhere, but I can't stand dumbasses. Right? So honestly, I have zero tolerance for them. So she's in the bed, and then she dives under the sheet. She pulls the sheet over her head like this, and then she calls a Muslim nurse, right? Because what people are like. Black likes to connect with black, Asian connect with Asian, white with white. Actually, not so much white. White people are kind of different, but it's just these ethnic people who scream racism, but yet they're very happy to bond with their own in all circumstances against others. So I saw what was going on. So she's under the sheet, and then she pops her eyes out from under it and calls the Muslim nurse who had the thing around her head, and as well as the mask. So she requests a mask. This is the dumbass in the bed, requests a mask. So she's put the mask on in the bed, and maybe I'm assuming here, but I believe she asked the nurse to get me to put a mask on. So I'm sitting there and I'm ready to punch somebody, right? So my sister's there. My sister knows what I'm like. But the thing is, I will be as calm as I am now, but I'm ready to do something to somebody if they say the wrong thing to me. You see, I'm saying things that I didn't want to say because I was calm, but I just saw this Dr. Shola, what's her name, talking crap as usual, and she's stirred me up. I mean, I can't blame people for stirring me up, but we are responsible for our own reactions. But I know, going back to God, there have been times when I've been stirred up to say something or do something. In other words, I've been, if you like, triggered to come and do this video because there are things that need to be said that should be said. So anyway, so this dumbass, and I will keep referring to her like that. I was calling her different things yesterday, so I'm actually a lot calmer about the situation than I was yesterday. So she decides to get this nurse to come and give me a mask. So then the nurse comes over, and she comes over very meek and mildly, but I'm sitting there, and you can't tell by looking, but there's a volcano there ready to erupt if necessary. So she comes to me and she says, would you like a mask? I said no. So she said, why not? I said, I don't wear one. And she said, why is that? I said, I have issues with breathing. So literally, that's my tone of voice. So it's going to escalate if she says, but you need to wear one. Right? So she just backed off. Now, here's the bit that tells me there's no damn pandemic out there. If it be the case, whether or not I have issues with breathing, which as I said I do, but I'm not one who does doctors. I take care of myself. So even when I came in last night, I was here self-medicating, right? I look out for myself. I don't need a doctor or people who can't even control themselves. Like I've said before, all these nurses are fat and out of shape, and well, some not all, but I would question their level of intelligence compared to mine. And again, people will say, how can you say that? I just look at how people conduct themselves. That's all I need to do. I can make an assessment of a person's intelligence just by sitting there and looking. So one of my friends sent me a video. I was talking to him last night. He sent me a video of two Jamaican nurses fighting in the staff canteen or something, right? So I've said before, if you bring in the third world, you get third world mentality. Wherever you go, people bring their mentality with them. So similarly, in the same way that others bring their mentality with them, I also bring my mentality with me wherever I go. So no, I'm not going to conform to stupidity. Right, so anyway, so I'm in the hospital, and if it be the case that there's this terrible pandemic, virus, whatever going around, surely common sense alone would tell you that if some people need to wear a mask and others are no, if everybody needs to wear a mask, but if you've got some underlying health problem or whatever that prevents you wearing a mask, you're exempt. Then that tells me there's nothing out there, because are you telling me that even though I have issues with breathing, that I can't pass the virus on? Is that what they're trying to say? So you see, on that basis alone, the whole thing is hogwash, not getting involved, not having anything to do with it. So this dumbass Dr. Shola, whatever her name is, she's now advocating, like I said, I'll put the video there so you can see what she's saying, and she's so proud of herself. She sits there like a dog waiting for a bone after she's, pleased her masters. And there's Piers Morgan, who I used to have respect for, and what's her name, Susanna Reid. They're saying, oh, Dr. Shola, well, well done, you're top of the class, kind of thing. That's the way they're handling her, because every time they want to rent a black gob, they bring her on. And I find, obviously they have an agenda. It seems like they're pushing this Black Lives Matter thing on their Britain's Got Talent show. So they have their agenda. So you've got 3 people on there that they're talking to, and 2 of them are black. Very representative of the demographics of the UK. Right, so obviously they're pushing the black agenda as well. So anyway, so my point is, I refuse to be instructed by fools. And this dumb idiot in the bed across from my sister, who can't speak English but nevertheless knows how to react with fear. I tell you what happened. After I finished attending to my sister, I won't say what I was doing, keep her privacy, but So I finished attending to her, and then I went towards the bin over by her bed. So the sink and the bin by this woman's bed. And literally the whole time, for the rest of the time that I was there, for the 2 hours, I just sat staring at her. And so when I wandered over, like I said, I wander in and I will throw my energy about if I want to intimidate people, if that's what they deserve, right? And energy, you can feel energy. In the same way you can tell if somebody's a good person or a bad person, you can just sense it. When I'm ready to throw my energy about, I do not joke. So I wandered over and I thought, let this woman, because I had to go sort of towards where her bed is, but it's not, there's more than 2 meters. And I thought, let this woman open her mouth and it's going to kick off in here, right? So she didn't. So the point of the matter is, you can pacify people. You can make people shut up. You see, at that point, I would have interjected a swear word to make them shut the up, right? But I don't swear, so I do have that kind of self-control. You can make them control themselves. She said nothing. I hope today when I go back, I'm going to try and pop in the morning because I need to. My sister's got bad nausea, so she's not eating properly and all of that because it makes her feel sick. So I'm going to go to the market on my way back from my place, pick up some ginger and take that to the hospital for her and just get them to give it to her, and then I'll go back during visiting hours. But I tell you, when I go back this evening, if that woman is still there in the hospital bed, I'm going to intimidate the hell out of her, right? Because that's what you do to stupid people. Oh, maybe that's not what you do, but that's what I do, right? I refuse to go along with this foolishness. I refuse to get drawn into it, and then to have some idiot, some third world idiot, and I don't care what you want to call me, third world idiot with third world thinking, wanting to come and tell somebody, to tell the medical professional who they have so much trust in, to tell me that I need to put on a mask. Honestly, the devil knows how to protect his own, because it was going to kick off, right? So the other thing that I was thinking of, because I'm just seeing the way people are responding, fear is not from God. Fear is from Satan, right? This fear that people are feeling, it is just marinating them. It's like when you put meat to season overnight and you to marinate or whatever. That's exactly what this fear is designed to do. It's to get people prepared and ready for Satan to grab hold of them, to, so whatever wickedness that is due to come, or that is being prepared under this Black Lives Matter movement and whatever else is going on out there in the political and spiritual world, it is to prepare people for that. This fear is what's marinating people, right? As I keep saying, I've been since March, since this lockdown, it went into lockdown on my birthday. I spent my birthday in bed, lockdown, right? So since March 23rd, I have not put on a mask. Yes, people have asked me, where's your mask? I have not succumbed to putting on the mask, and you have this dumb ass idiot, Dr. Shola, saying, yes, people should be locked up. Are you having a laugh? I know you're talking about people who are flouting the COVID rules, but as we saw with Donald Trump, where people were banking on him and wanting him to die and all of that, you see, he's back out there rallying, right? So he's trying to show people, look, there is no need to have this fear and to be to be running scared from this virus. What is a virus, right? When people have colds and flus and whatever else diseases they might have, never in the history of human beings, as far as since I've been alive, certainly, have anybody been told that, oh, you've got flu, stay at home, you've got whatever it is, stay at home. It's like I don't see any signs of anything. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who knows anybody who's got this thing. And yet, the people have turned fools. That people have turned complete idiots out there trying to draw others into it. Now, I have never, ever in my life, not even as a child, been the compliant type. I've said before in previous video, my father said, even as a young child, before I have memory, that there was nothing he could get me to do if I'd made up my mind that I wasn't going to do it. He had to find other ways. He had to reason with me and explain to me why he was asking me to do the thing, until such a time as these idiots who are who we call leaders or medical professionals or whatever, until such a time as they can tell me and show me and provide the evidence or whatever that there is a deadly pandemic out there and it's going to get us all if we don't wear a mask, until such a time I am not complying to anything. I am not surrendering my free will. So it was just pretty much that anyway. But I don't, I don't, I'm not politically correct. I don't want to be politically correct. I will call people what I need to call them. So if I need to say dumbass from the third world, right, there's a reason why the third world is the third world. Third world mentality gives you third world results, right? If it be if that's a fact, then that's a fact. If people want to take offense, it's too bad, right? But that was the reality yesterday at the hospital, and I'm telling you, it would have kicked off. If they pushed it a little bit more, it would have kicked off. But you see, like I said, the devil knows how to protect his own, and God also knows how to protect his own. So I think I pretty much covered everything there. And so now, instead of going back to bed, I'm going to organize myself and go and pick up the things that I need, and then I can proceed and have a perfectly glorious day. So you guys take care.